This is exactly why Sunderland bought Ward-Prowse. For moments like this, he's one of the best free kick takers in world football, and it all comes down to this moment.
Before stadiums and press conferences, it was just me, my father, and a fishing rod. The sunrise in Sydney. It was quiet, calm, honest. Those mornings shaped me more than I ever realised. I later left Sydney for Melbourne. I found a job working for a rather large bank, assisting clients with their investment portfolios and mutual funds by day, and attending finance lectures by night. That's where I met Sarah, the smartest person I had ever spoken to. We fell hard and fast and married young. A few years later, we had our son, Miles Sharp, born at 1:06 a.m. and weighing just over 7 pounds, and filling our hearts with love only a parent could understand. But the real magic? That happened on the grass, coaching my son's local football team. I never planned to take it seriously. I just loved seeing them improve, seeing them believe. Turns out, I actually did quite a good job, bringing the North Melbourne Schoolboy Trophy home for the first time in our school's history. The University of Melbourne took note of my achievement and offered me a full-time job to coach their senior team. The team hadn't won anything in years. I could see that they had no system, no belief. I pitched them a plan. Scout the local talent, give out scholarships, build this team from the ground up. I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. One year later, we weren't just better, we were champions. Built not with stars, but with vision, with strategy. Unbelievably, Wolverhampton Wanderers came knocking. Yes, Wolves. Who play in the Premier League, that Wolves. They invited me to the UK for an interview. I went alone as Sarah and Miles stayed home praying. I was so nervous, my hand almost slipped right past this handshake. I thought this might be my shot. Instead, it was a nightmare. They had me travel all the way over there to basically laugh in my face. I don't even remember this guy's name, but he was one smug son of a back in Melbourne. I was hollow. I quit coaching, even the kids' team. I buried myself back in finance, safe, quiet, boring. I convinced myself the dream had passed. Then one night, I was at home watching Moneyball. Great movie, and it hit me. I did that at the university. I built a squad, not with money, but belief, with metrics, with heart. I felt something light up in me again, and all of a sudden, there was a knock on our front door. I didn't know who he was. He flew all the way to Melbourne, Australia, and simply said, "Sunderland AFC, Google us. Let me know if you would like to be our new sporting director by tomorrow morning." Wolves had taken its toll on me. Sarah didn't want to see that version of me again, and neither did I. But as I stood there thinking, with the sound of the movie still playing in the back, I felt it. I'm gonna Moneyball Sunderland back to the Premier League. Well, I've arrived in Sunderland, and I've already fallen in love. A fry-up is what they call it, and that won't be my last one. I made my way over to our training complex, the Academy of Light. The setup is out of this world, and we don't even play in the Premier League. Not yet anyway. I got the chance to meet some of the players and staff while they were training. We currently have a caretaker coach in charge, and that's the first mission I have been tasked with. Finding a coach to come in and take us to that next level. I sat down with my new team for our introduction meeting, and I felt it went very well. We discussed all our plans, and the meeting went on for quite a while. Afterwards, I had a quite surreal moment when I turned on Shy Sports only to see my name plastered all over it, and Gus there discussing our club. Now, you might be wondering about these new owners that have made all these changes to the club, so let me give you a quick rundown. El Sur Capital. Founded in Montevideo in 2007, El Sur Capital began as a discreet private equity group, specialising in infrastructure and agribusiness across Uruguay, Chile and Argentina. The firm quietly amassed billions through early investments in lithium mining, shipping routes and South American football broadcasting rights. By 2018, El Sur shifted their focus to legacy assets, historical brands, distressed football clubs and cultural icons with untapped global reach. Their motto, tradition is opportunity. Their rise has been whispered about in football circles, sharp, aggressive, and always staying just outside the headlines. Sunderland is their first major European project. They don't want just promotion, they want a legacy, and they're starting it at the Stadium of Light. To help me get settled in, the club have sorted me out with this lovely 4-bedroom house in a private estate. So I'm hoping Sarah and Miles will come over soon. This all still feels so unreal to me, as just last month, I was sitting in my boring old office with my head stuck in paperwork. And now I'm attending dinner parties with football royalty. Everyone is so welcoming and friendly, and I'm getting amazing insights and advice. Although I will admit that Royston here scares the life out of me. To be honest, I don't really know what he was saying to me, but I swear I thought he wanted to hurt me in some way. Anyway, on with the plan. My team and I have come up with a list of candidates for the job. Each one fills us with confidence that they can get us back to that Premier League in the first time of asking. Up first, Dyche, currently the head coach of Everton, who, yes, are currently playing in the Premier League, but we have reason to think he might be willing to at least listen to our offer. So I head for Liverpool with optimism in my belly, and I get settled into a nice hotel for the night. By morning, I'm at Goodison Park, and I can already see that this man looks to be the real deal. I'm excited. After the game, we grab a coffee, and I present our great plan. It didn't go well, and back to the drawing board we go. Up next is Phil Neville. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know much about him. Only the fact that his older brother can be quite annoying when I'm watching a game on Shy Sports every Monday night. Derek here, however, is stating that he's our man and that he is definitely willing to join, even willing to stake his career on this move. So, off I head stateside to Portland. I was running late, but I did make it for the last 20 minutes of the game. And then myself and Phil went to grab a beer and discuss this exciting project. Well, it was a complete waste of time. He wasn't interested at all. Next on the list might be a bit of a reach, but we're going for it. Nuno Espirito Santo, the head coach of Nottingham Forest. He's a top coach with lots of experience. But we hear his relationship with his current owner may not be the best right now. And maybe, just maybe, he can get excited about what we're doing here. Only one way to find out, and I arrive in Nottingham to watch him do his thing in the Premier League. Afterwards, I met with him in his office to sell this vision. Now, I don't know if there was magic in the air, or I just had a bit too much coffee throughout the game, but I sold this dream like I've never sold anything before, and well, we got our man. Pen to paper on a 2-year deal and my first major objective complete. This is massive for the club that we can attain the services of such a manager, and right before we head off for our summer games. The team fly out, and Nuno and myself waste no time in discussing future plans. But first, we arrive in Madrid for the chance to assess our current squad in these pre-season games. First up, we play Scottish Side Rangers in Getafe Stadium at 9 p.m, and it's still hot. Our striker Isidore stands out with a wonderful strike in the first half. 1-1 and a decent start. Next, it's It's a tough game against Real Betis at the Vallecas Stadium, the home of Rayo Vallecano. Young Chris Rigg put on a nice show here, and he looks to be an exciting prospect for us. Goalless at full time, and another decent showing from our boys. And finally, we face French side Auxerre in the Vallecas Stadium again. And it's Chris Rigg who is the standout once again, showing great tenacity with his tackling and courage to take people on and have a go at goal. This game didn't go our way on the score sheet though, as we conceded some sloppy goals. However, competitive is what we were looking for, and this game was ideal for that. "2-0 we lost, but the fitness levels got a nice boost. On another positive note, Nuno and I identified two outstanding players from Auxerre. Mensah at left back looked very composed and comfortable in his role. And their captain, Jubal at centre back, looked like a real leader. Strong and always alert. I had the team dig up as much info on the two players as they could find while the game was on, and then I invited Auxerre's sporting director out for a drink and a chat. I wasn't the only member of the club that was out that night, however, as the following morning we woke up to this. 3 squad members decided to hit the town after our final pre-season game. And of course, it didn't go well. They ended up getting into an altercation with some locals, which resulted in 2 people being hospitalised. It was not a good look for the club, and Nuno was livid, rightly so. The 3 players involved were Jewison Bennett, Oliver Bainbridge and Chris Rigg, who had such a promising pre-season. We flew back home to Sunderland, and Nuno called me up, having had time to think it over. He told me to get rid of all 3 players. He didn't care how, he just wanted them away from our current group and our club. In the meantime, we decided to put a positive spin back on our squad by promoting some youth to fill the void in our senior squad. There are 2 names being tipped by our youth coaches, Sean Shepherd at centre-back and Albie Holt at left-back. Both boys showing great potential and a liking for getting forward to help out in attack also. And so, the league starts, and we head down to Wales for our opener against Cardiff. It was a long drive, and we are trusting in our current squad to get us off to a good start, as we are still lining up which players to go for in the market. We conceded an early goal, however, we pulled it back late on through Isidore with a nice finish. One-one it finishes, and we claim our first point on the road. The team and I worked hard on this, and we've compiled a list of players using our data research who we believe we can sign at a decent price. First up is James Ward-Prowse, a set-piece specialist who is apparently out of favour at his current club, West Ham. Chido Obi-Martin. Now this one we will look to do a loan deal, as Manchester United have just acquired his services, taking him from Arsenal's youth setup. He could be a major goal threat in the Championship. Facundo Buonanotte, an attacking midfielder who could be the ideal young replacement for Chris Rigg as we look to sell him. And Tyler Dibbling. Now he will cost the most, for sure. But we believe he is ready for a new challenge, and why not join a club that is on the rise and not the other way around? That's just a few to mention for now, and I will prepare myself to deliver on them. But before then, the team welcomes League 2 side Carlisle United to the Stadium of Light for our first Carabao Cup game. It's a chance for Nuno to rotate the squad and get us off to a good start in the domestic cup competitions. It doesn't go as planned, and we are forced into a penalty shootout. We're at high risk of an embarrassing cup upset now. With the score locked at 4-4, we are into sudden death, and our left-back Huggins tries to be cute, aiming down the middle. But the keeper stayed put. And now, a team 2 divisions below us has the chance to knock us out of this cup. in our home stadium.
An expertly taken penalty to catapult them into the next round.
Well, what a good penalty under a lot of pressure there. Excellent technique, you have to say.
Watching it back, I feel even more sick. We knew to expect some ups and downs, but a down this low and so early on, not good. It's time to make some changes here. First in the door, Tyler Dibbling. 7.5 million euros is an absolute steal for this kid. But once we made contact, he pushed for the move, handing in a transfer request and forcing Southampton's arm. Next, I set up a meeting between Nuno and Ruben Amorim to negotiate a loan deal for Chido Obi. We got the boy, a 1-year loan, and we paid just 45% of his wage. After this, we got Ward-Prowse. West Ham were happy to let him go for just 13 million euros. He's worth every penny as we see him playing like a quarterback for us, dictating the play and using his exceptional set pieces to create many opportunities for us to score. And you can see how the West Ham fans feel about it. He can be one of the team leaders for us, and so can this next guy, Seamus Coleman. Nearing retirement, we were able to take him off Everton's hands for just 740,000 euros. He will also be a great mentor for fellow right-back Trey Hume. Then I contacted Manchester City, spoke to one of their guys, and set up a time for Nuno to meet Pep. We asked to take Nico O'Reilly on a 1-year loan deal with the promise of more game time, and we got it done. This one is a 50-50 split on the wages. And now, with the ball well and truly rolling in the transfer market, we switch our focus back to the league. Sheffield Wednesday are in town and we fall behind yet again. However, in the dying seconds, our wonder kid, Jobe Bellingham, receives the ball. Jobe, rightly so, now getting all the praise from the media. And that positivity is short-lived, as we receive this voice recording of a podcast that is due to go out to the public in the coming days.
Listen, I know it's Sunderland and we're not exactly a Champions League side, but honestly, some of these players playing like it's Sunday League out there. Look, I'm not naming names, but when your centre-back can't win a header and your captain is more interested in his Instagram, it's frustrating to say the least.
Our keeper, Anthony Patterson, appearing on a popular podcast, criticising his teammates. Thankfully, we got this when we did, and we were able to get it pulled before being published. However, the damage has been done. We've all seen it within the club, including the players. Dan Neil, our captain, almost got into a fight with him in the training complex later on, and then sent Nuno this text. He was right, and Nuno and myself had already come to this conclusion. It's tough, as he's a very good goalie, and that security at the back is not easy to come by. But like any good team, we always have players in mind in case of any emergency situation. And the goalie I think could be perfect is playing here, Rome. Mila Svilar. He's young, confident, and I'm hoping, eager to play in England. 23 million euros, and we have our new number one. It's a bit more than we would want to pay, but we couldn't go into this season without a starting keeper, and we believe he'll be worth every penny. Back in the league, and we faced Burnley at home. It was a scrappy game throughout, and ended goalless. Hannibal was fiery, and Nuno liked what he saw. He asked me after the game to get that deal done and bring him in, and that's what I did. 6 million euros, and our midfield strengthened. We realise, though, that we haven't won a game yet, and we're seriously lacking in the goals department. So it's time to bring in a striker. Benedikt Hollerbach. He's currently playing in Germany with Union Berlin. He's young, versatile, and has a keen eye for goals. To get this one done, we had to offer €9 million plus Ian Poveda, who hasn't really been impressing Nuno in training. Our youngster Sean Shepherd, who we promoted from the youth, was sent out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday to gain some valuable first-team experience. And then an offer came in that I was honestly expecting. A Premier League side looking for Job, Aston Villa with an offer of €6.6 million, and we declined without hesitation. They would need to go a lot higher north of that figure to get us to even consider talks. We then headed to Portsmouth for our next league encounter and looking for our first win this season, and that's exactly what we got. Isidore got the first goal. And then our new signing Ward-Prowse grabbed the second. (2-0) and our first 3 points in the bag. We found a team for Anthony. Torino in Italy were interested and kind of lowballed us with a €5 million offer. But what could I do? He needed to leave and we weren't getting many offers. So we accepted and now look to move on. And then Fabrizio dropped a major bombshell. Jordan Henderson, looking unsettled at Ajax, could potentially be on the move.
Did Ajax see the wanted the sellers? Yeah. Well, they were negotiating, so I'd imagine they did, yeah.
They were negotiating with Monaco
For a fee, yeah.
You wanted a transfer.
Sorry, you said enough about it. Stop it now. Jordan made his point.
Nuno was straight on the phone to me. I knew why he was calling, and I was on board. So we both took off for Amsterdam the following morning. He played well, even with all this noise. Nuno was impressed. They then met up for lunch after the game, along with Jordan's agent. Unfortunately though, Jordan stated that although he loves the idea of returning to Sunderland, especially under this project, he is going to stay and see out his contract at Ajax. Disappointing, but not much more we could say, or do. We got back home in time for the transfer deadline day. We decided to bring in a backup keeper to Mila. Jack Alnwick from Cardiff City we got for just $1.5 million. And then we secured deals for each of the 3 players involved in the nightclub disaster. Back in Madrid, Jewison Bennett went out on loan to Rangers in Scotland. Oliver Bainbridge went on loan to KFUM Kameratene in Norway. And Chris Rigg managed to get a dream move to German giants Bayern Munich for €4.6 million. And so, that's the close of our first transfer window. We arrive in Plymouth for our next league game, and our new striker Cheeto has an amazing chance to win it right at the end.
Well, that was the chance to win the game, but the finish just wasn't good enough.
Next up is a big one, the Teeswear Derby, as we welcome Middlesbrough. And it starts off horribly. Job going down from a rough challenge, which later results in a broken ankle, and 3 months out for our star kid. And then to make matters worse, Middlesbrough grabbed the only goal of the game with a soft strike that somehow gets past Mila. We're all devastated for Job, and now we're down a key player, right as the transfer window just closed. Watford away was not one to remember. Goalless, and we are yet to click. It's understandable seeing, as it's a much changed side, but we need to start getting in gear now.
Well, if we watch this again, it's a tidy finish, and it's certainly been coming. The pressure's been building, and they've got their rewards. Absolutely smashes it past the keeper, and you have to say it was a good finish.
This was more like it. A nice first goal for Nico, and a hat-trick for Hollebach give us a comfortable win over Derby County. Then we welcome Leeds, and the hype starts to build on Hollebach, as people are starting to see just why we brought him into the club. We get off to a bad start.
Here we can see it again, and a simple finish it may be, but it's all about the movement in the box, just to find...
Then it gets worse.
Booked for the second time. He's got to go.
Well, he's just not...
However, Hollebach got his chance in the last seconds, and well... It has taken time, but the fans are starting to get behind this team, and now believe with Hollebach, we can do great things. And then Nuno received a call.
Hi Nuno, if you'll still have me, I'd like to come join you in January.
After that promising call from Jordan, Seamus Coleman delivered a passionate speech before the game away to Hull, and it definitely motivated the lads. Nico O'Reilly with the first, and Mundell with the second. – 2-0 and the signs are there for us.
What a game we have in store for you today. The hype has been building all week and we're just moments from kickoff. All the action coming live.
Having gone 1-0 down to Luton early on, we turned it around with goals from Hollebach.
Smashes it in the net. It's a quality finish.
And Brown. 2-1, and now we are rolling. Another goal from Hollebach, and then a chance for Cheeto to grab his first for the club. The mood in the camp is good, and the doubts are turning to praise. And then we travel down to London to face QPR. Who else but Hollebach to get the only goal of the game? 1-0 and a team heading onwards and upwards. After the game, Nuno told the boys that they've earned tomorrow off, so go and enjoy the night in London with family or friends. What was supposed to be a nice gesture to the team turned out being the catalyst for a terrible decision from one of the boys.
The BBD and breaking news this morning. A Sunderland player has been involved in a vehicle accident.
Shy Sports understand that the player is stable but is in hospital receiving treatment.
It's our captain, Dan Neal. He was in the passenger seat of his friend's car, and they hit another car in the early hours of the morning. He's broken his leg and his arm and will be out for the rest of the season. Nuno calls me to gather the team and then he shares the news. The players are in shock and must find a way to focus and play against Preston. Nuno fills them with words on encouragement before the game and reminds them that we are all human. Let's just be thankful everyone is okay, and let's put on a show for Neil, as he is no doubt watching. And Hollerbach manages to get us the crucial goal, paying tribute to Dan with his celebration too.
What a game we have in store for you today. The hype has been building all week and the fans are pouring into the stadium. The tension palpable. Stay with us. We'll have all the action for you live right here on EA TV.
The big man Asante gives Coventry the lead, having turned Jubal and finished coolly. But we managed to turn this one around too, with goals from Miko. And then Mayenda. And we are sitting now in second place in the league table. Still early, of course, but these top two spots get automatic promotion to the Premier League next season. And as we start to feel good again, more news comes out of London that is not so good.
Breaking news this hour, and 3 Sunderland fans have been left hospitalised after an altercation with Millwall supporters in London last night.
Our supporters went out the night before our game in London and were left needing treatment after some hooligans supporting the other side attacked them. For no good reason other than wanting to inflict pain. Mila was confused, asking if they're even a rival team. Seamus demanded that the EFL take action, and James was fired up, saying how we should take revenge out on the field. Nuno tried to instill some calm, but his efforts were futile and our boys simply could not contain their rage. Yellows were flying in and suddenly the scoreline didn't seem to matter, which of course worked in their favour, and they capitalised on our lack of focus, with Langstaff scoring a worldie before killing us off with a second late on. There was trouble after the final whistle too, when Isidore grabbed one of their players by the neck, which then got all players involved in a scuffle. We were handed a £50,000 fine by the FA. Fair enough, and let's move on. Hollerbach got us off to a great start, before young Watson doubled our lead with his first goal of the season. (2-0) and off to Sheffield next.
Well, they say opposites attract. Today they clash. One team, the freest scoring side in the division. The other, the best defensive team in the league. Stay tuned. We'll have all the action for you live. 1-0. They've breached the defence.
A great goal from Tyler to give us the lead here. And then a massive moment as Job makes his return from a broken ankle. And he's straight into the action, giving the ball to Tyler, who then sets up Hollerbach.
Well, more championship action for you to look forward to on EA TV. It's Sunderland taking on Stoke City.
Team behind them here, Derek.
And a goal! They've added to the lead. Much needed security.
Still sitting pretty in second place, and Hollerbach is on fire. He's named man of the match for that win over Sheffield United, and then is announced as the EFL Championship Player of the Month. Onwards to face Stoke now, and our confidence is at an all-time high. Well, it might have been slightly too high, and we're brought back down to earth with a goalless draw here. We just never really got going in the end. Nuno had some interesting links with the Iceland national team, and Shy Sports were jumping all over the fact that he met up with their representatives for a dinner, thinking they had a great scoop here. They didn't. He assured me that he is 100% on board with this project and the challenge of making Sunderland a staple in the Premier League going forward, and maybe even in the European competitions. I get excited just talking about it. Welcome to December in the UK. And we had scheduled a BBD interview at our Academy of Light, as Gus will be here to meet the squad. However, as the TV crew entered our building, they were informed that there has been a pretty big flu outbreak within the club, and many of the staff and players were sick. Nuno was ill, and so were many of the players. We requested to postpone the next fixture against Bristol, but the FA did not approve it, and so we jumped on a Zoom meeting to come up with a strategy here. I took control and led the discussions, stating that we will have our assistant coach stand in for now and go with the players we've got available. I felt it went well, and the boys were impressed with my leadership skills. With so many first-teamers out, and on a snow-filled pitch, we have to go for it here. But it doesn't start well, and Bristol score through their striker Wells. And he gets another. Nuno gives the boys a pep talk at half-time from his bed at home, but Wells is at it again right after the break.
It's a masterclass in finishing to complete his hat-trick.
3-0 down, and on Gus's first time seeing the boys play live after arriving from Uruguay. But something was about to give us a little hope. The hat-trick hero for them turns into the villain as he receives a red card.
It is another booking. He's got to go.
And there's hope. Isidore with the first, then Mayenda with the second. Suddenly, we might not lose this game after all, and Gus is every one of us right now. And then, incredibly, in the dying seconds, we do it. Joe Bellingham. Half the squad missing, manager missing, and we come from 3 goals down to draw 3-3. As a very wise man once said, football, bloody hell. We're heading back down to Wales now to face Swansea. We don't have all players back from that illness just yet, but we have some, and Nuno, so hopefully we can get a win to keep everyone's spirits up now. And we get off to a great start, surprising albeit, as it's Seamus Coleman who finds himself up on the edge of their box. The strike worthy of any top goal scorer, and everything was going perfectly here. Until Luke went in recklessly to a challenge and received a straight red. Nuno walked right past him without so much as a glimpse. And of course, things got worse from here, as Swansea scored an equaliser straight away. We were hanging on for a point and thought that Jack was going to be the hero, having come in for a sick mealer.
And it's still level.
Oh, that's such an important save at a vital time.
But these heroics were short-lived, as a terrible call from the ref gives Swansea the chance to steal it right at the death. Well, that was a tough loss to take, and things at home aren't much better right now either. Sarah was under the assumption that I would be home for Christmas. However, with the crazy winter schedule here in the UK and the January transfer window coming up, I simply can't. Miles can't fly here because of his work, and so this will be my first Christmas away from them. It's not easy at all being so far away. I've asked them many times to leave Australia for now and join me here in Sunderland, but they don't want to leave Melbourne and their friends and family. It's definitely something we need to figure out. But for now, I guess it's full focus on getting this promotion to the Premier League. We're awarded a penalty late on against Norwich, and it's all eyes on Hollerbach. It was a great late win there, but in the next fixture against Blackburn, it's the opposite feeling as we concede late on and lose 1-0. Then we travel to Stoke, and James comes agonisingly close with this free kick. But ref said it did not cross the line. But moments later, Brown's shot did. 1-0 up, but in typical fashion, we throw away our good momentum as Elise receives a red card for this challenge. And yes, we're punished again.
See, his movement is really good, which then makes the finish look easy. That's a decent goal, that's for sure.
Mila makes a fantastic save on his return to the team, and Brown decides to run down the clock while being subbed off. However, while trying to kill the clock, we manage to get a corner in the dying seconds, and a chance falls to Big Ballard. That's just agonising. The next day, and Gus and Nuno finally got to meet in person. The conversation started well, however it took a slight dip when Gus mentioned just how big the expectation was on Nuno to get us promotion, at the first time of trying. Basically, it's get us promoted this year, or you might just be surplus to requirements. Now, Gus did mention that if Nuno were to somehow manage a good run in the upcoming FA Cup, that could go a long way to pleasing these new owners. So let's just hope this draw is a favourable one for us. Well, it's almost as if it was scripted. Newcastle United, our biggest rivals, and now one of the richest clubs in the world with that Saudi money. We will travel to St James's Park. This will not be easy by any means, but just look at Callan Sheeran celebrating like they've already won. Let's just see if he's smiling like that after the game. And then, another bombshell. As news is leaked that 3 of our players that are here on loan, Lafay, Abdul Samed and Chris Meffam, are all being recalled by their parent clubs as they are unhappy with the amount of game time that Nuno has been giving them. This is definitely not what we need right now, and only throws more gas on that earlier conversation between Gus and Nuno. Gus is not best pleased, but Nuno takes responsibility and handles the media backlash, tackling it head on. He's staying calm and focused. But the following match doesn't help his cause, as we lose 1-0 at home to Sheffield United. And now we're barely hanging on to that final playoff spot, sitting in 6th position, and with Stoke and Millwall breathing down our necks. The press are all over him like a swarm of bees, and so it's time for us to take action. With the January transfer window now open, talks with Ajax over the sale of Henderson are ongoing, but not straightforward as we'd hoped, with Ajax standing firm on wanting to keep the player. So for now we carry on, and Hannibal gets his first goal for the club with a lovely strike against Portsmouth. Then Ward-Prowse tucks away a penalty nicely. And we get a much-needed 2-1 win. After the game, Hannibal makes a comment causing doubt over his future here with us, and we're confused. That confusion is cleared up the next day as Brendan Rodgers arrives to discuss bringing him to Celtic. Clearly, they've been discussing this behind our backs, but we've got to make a decision. And Nuno tells Brendan we'll need a week or so to discuss the offer. Next, Gus flies out to Amsterdam to speak with their sporting director over this Henderson situation. Yet again, they are standing firm, but as we start to learn about Gus, he's not one to quit easily, and he turns on that South American charm. And well, he got the job done. Jordan Henderson to Sunderland is a here we go. We are delighted to have his leadership and mentality coming in to really give us that push as we fight for promotion. And it's nice to have some positive media attention for a change. Right in time as we make our short journey over to face local rivals Newcastle in the big FA Cup game.
Well, today's the day. I am absolutely buzzing for this one. It's time to show our little neighbours over there that there are levels to this game, man. Newcastle, Sunderland. It's Christmas morning again for me, man. Sunderland, you've been hiding for too long, but today, you're back with the big boys.
It is one of the great club rivalries going all the way back to 1883. There's nothing quite as invigorating as Newcastle against Sunderland. This meeting live next on EA TV.
Okay, boys, let's forget all the noise, focus on what we practiced, and most importantly, believe.
Well, this is it, everybody. The time for talking is over, and this city is on a standstill for the next 2 hours or so. Alan, are you still as confident?
Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy the game.
Gus clearly enjoyed that tackle from Trey Hume on Gordon.
But how will they replace him? They've got to reorganise now.
However, the next one from O'Neill, not so much. It's a straight red for his tackle on Isak, and this mountain just got a lot higher. But just as we thought all luck was against us. We're gifted a goal by their keeper. But of course, the pressure keeps coming.
It's a good-looking ball, and a chance to level it. Well, you have to say, he's going to be very cross with himself.
He'll certainly be disappointed with that. That was a poor effort.
Isak coming so close. But moments later, he gets another massive chance as Ballard handles in the box, and it's a penalty. Never in doubt. 1-1. But as they are still celebrating, Hollerbach is quick to silence them once again with a clinical finish. 10 men for most of the game against Premier League giants, and little old Sunderland get the job done. 2-1, the city is ours, and we're into the next round of the FA Cup.
He was far too sharp, always looking to play on the shoulder, took his goals well too. Really the difference maker today.
With the fact that it's clear now Hannibal wants to join Celtic, and Brendan is looking for a response on his offer, I travelled to Glasgow to see if we might be able to sort out some sort of a swap deal. And the one player that stands out for me is this man. Reo Hatate. He was electric. And we managed to get it done. A straight swap and an exciting player that actually wants to be here. And then it's time for Gus to start injecting some Uruguayan blood into this squad. This is the guy he wants, Santiago Moreno. So calm and confident on the ball, finishing with ease. And oh yeah, he's a centre-back. who loves a good crunch tackle. Gus gets the job done. And we have our man. For just under €4 million, we're off to Burnley next, and we're played off the park. Brownhill scores a penalty. And then Mayenda is caught napping at the back, and Laurent punishes us. They're top of the league for a reason, and that chemistry they have is exactly what we want. Gus is in the Big Apple now to look at another of his countrymen, Felipe Carballo, who plays for the Red Bulls. He's a box-to-box midfielder with lots of energy, and he's won his side a penalty here.
On this occasion, it's a great penalty.
Which Choupo-Moting slots away, and they win 1-0. That evening, Gus takes him and his agent out for dinner. And it's done, he's on board. For just €4 million. And he's signed in time to join the squad for the trip to Derby County. Our new boy Hattati gets the first of the night and his first for the club, and he's thrilled. Then Ward-Prowse doubles our lead. Before Carballo, who hasn't even trained with the squad, comes off the bench to score, just 5 minutes in to his Sunderland playing career. 3-0, and still fighting to secure a playoff spot, at the least. We've drawn Brighton in the 4th round of the FA Cup. And coincidentally, their manager was already on his way to speak with Gus. He made an offer, €6 million, and it was accepted. Big Dan Ballard was heading to Brighton to play Premier League football. There was no hard feelings. Brighton are a fantastic club, and we have 2 players that can fill that position, potentially signing for the club in this window as Gus is out there trying to get it done. In the meantime, the team get another crucial win as Hollerbach scores a brace against Plymouth. And the first of them 2 centre-backs is now done and signed. Emiliano Velasquez, an experienced central defender who will add leadership to our back line. Then Gus makes his way over to Chile to see, of course, another Uruguayan player, and a very exciting one at that. Like Mourinho, Alan Saldivial here is a centre-back who likes to express himself on the field and create many chances for the team. He also loves to put in a tackle or 2. And we got him in for €8 million. We're out for revenge now, in the reverse fixture of the Teeswear derby with Middlesbrough.
What a game we have in store for you today. The hype has been building all week and the fans are pouring into the stadium. The tension palpable. We have all the action for you live on EA TV.
Don't go anywhere, it's Middlesbrough Sunderland on Gillette Shocker Saturday.
It was all eyes on this one. Middlesbrough flying high in 2nd place, while we're still fighting down in 6th. And Mourinho doesn't take long to introduce himself to this derby match. And just as Trish Tamara is giving an update, it's disaster. as they take the lead against us again. Azaz with a cool finish into the bottom corner. And it was Seamus who gave the ball away, leading up to the goal. But he would be saved late on, as Nico pops up in the dying minutes with a crucial equaliser.
And it's in! All square again! What a match this is turning out to be!
1-1, and at least we knocked Middlesbrough out of the automatic promotion places. As for us, we're 5 points ahead of Millwall with 16 games to go.
Welcome along to the beautiful south of England, everybody. It's the Seagulls versus the Black Cats. The Premier League flair against Championship fire. This is the 4th round of the FA Cup live on BBD. You didn't pick Sunderland to be here, right? Well, that's okay. Most of us didn't either, except this man beside me.
Of course, none of you believed me.
Royston Mean is here. No nonsense, no smiling. Richard Michaels is here. All nonsense, all smiling. And Liam Wrong is here, just trying to keep the peace and look fabulous doing it. Right, well, that last result against Newcastle was a terrific surprise result. Surely Sunderland can't pull it off again. You disagree, Royston?
Listen, as I told you last time, and none of you would listen, of course. Sunderland can do it again. Come on, man.
Okay, enjoy the game, everyone.
Well, the game couldn't have started better, as Job gets in on goal early on and slots it away nicely. Another early lead against Premier League opposition, and we held on to that lead for the whole game. Almost.
And you have to say it was a good finish.
Joao Pedro, who was their biggest threat all game, equalised with the last kick of the game. There were no goals in extra time, and the boys were still arguing over who would eventually be victorious here. These damn shootouts in the cup games. I'm still having nightmares of Carlisle in the Carabao Cup, so I say my prayers here for a better outcome today. And Mila puts us within reach of that with a great save. And then, it all comes down to our new man, Carabao, to decide it. Another incredible cup upset away from home, and Royston is happy to hear the apologies. We're flying high in the cup, but we need that to cross over onto our league form as we look for more consistency. Our chances are dealt a serious blow, however, as Brown has a moment to forget as he loses his head and makes a horrendous tackle, resulting in a straight red. Nuno, once again, is irate, and Brown is devastated in the tunnel. And you guessed it, we're punished not long later as we concede the only goal of the game. A cup hangover maybe, but tempers are flaring again, full time with Isidore not enjoying the camera being so close in his face. Back at the Academy of Light, Nuno makes it clear that our disciplinary record is costing us dearly, and so it will now actually start costing the players. Might be a little drastic, but drastic measures. A tough one now away to Leeds, and James comes close with a free kick. We did expect more from him with these set pieces when signing him, to be honest, but I'm sure the goals will come. A sloppy piece of defending later, and James puts them 1-0 ahead. Nuno tries to instill calm, but it only gets worse. And Pirro makes it 2, and another defeat.
A case of game over.
So much for the team staying out of trouble, as our boys are provoked at full time, and an all-out brawl breaks out between the two sides near the tunnel.
Well, very ugly scenes at Ellen Road last night as both teams clash heading into the tunnel at full time. Nuno looked surprised afterwards and maybe a little fed up.
Hello guys.
Nuno, my friend, are we calmed down now?
I'm feeling better, yes.
Good. I've talked with the FA and there will be a punishment for both sides, of course. Leeds will receive a heavier fine, being that it was initiated by their players and occurred on their home ground. So listen, I don't think any punishment is necessary for the players this time.
Don't worry, I've watched all the footage. Our boys were just protecting each other out there. If anything, I'm actually proud of them, this time.
Exactly, though, fighting for the badge. It makes me proud. Now, the FA Cup draw is starting. Are you watching?
Oh, it better be a good draw. I'm sure if we can avoid Liverpool and City, we will be okay. Come on, boys, do us a favor here. Okay, that's us playing at home, finally. Let's see who we get.
Well,
my old team, Wolves.
That's good.
Yes, let's go again.
We beat them and we are into the quarterfinals. Exciting times, my friend. I will see you soon. Adios.
It really was ugly. Nobody likes to see that. Both teams will face a fine. The Leeds manager Daniel Farke accepts his team must do better. While Nuno looked beyond bemused at full time, he just stood there, speechless. He's got a lot of work to do.
These idiots. I should have said no.
As Nuno is admiring the good old English press, we can consider ourselves lucky to still be in a playoff position now. Both Stoke and Millwall failing to capitalise on our 2 defeats on the bounce. Hull City are in town and we need to lock in big time now.
The high press was on, and that's a fantastic tackle. Oh, that is a moment!
The referee's got that right. He saved a possible goal there, but at a cost.
Well, that was one to forget. But unfortunately, we have now slipped out of the playoff spots. And if we don't turn it around quick, things could get very ugly for us. The next day in training, Seamus informs Nuno of his intentions to retire at the end of the season, stating that he just cannot keep up with the younger players anymore. He'll be a big loss, but we need to make sure we send him out on a high note. And this game with Watford will definitely help as we win a penalty early into the second half. And Raya puts it away. Then Isidore comes up late with a second to secure all 3 points. And the smile is back on Nuno's face. Up next, and it's the round of 16 in the FA Cup against Wolves.
An FA Cup quarter-final at stake. Vitor Pereira and his men have just arrived. Can Sunderland keep Matheus Cunha out today? It's a big ask.
Yes, it is a big ask, but I think we've proven that we should not be taken lightly by now. Our boy Hollaback at it again, and it's yet another early FA Cup goal. That's called the surprise factor. Then Cunha comes very close with a curling effort, but Mila makes a great save. But sadly, that's not their only chance.
Lovely incisive ball.
And it's there to equalise. Settle in for the rest of this. A great game already.
And just like against Newcastle, when we concede, we don't drop our heads. It's safe to say, this man is ready for the Premier League. Unbelievably, we are into the quarter-final. And next, Job scores a crucial goal to win it against Cardiff. The belief is rising. And good thing, as this one is massive. 7th versus 8th. Both fighting to finish 6th or higher. A win here could deal a huge blow to one of our main competitors now, Preston. And we come out with intention. Isidore stuns them with a very early goal. He then wins us a penalty. Which Rio takes again.
And he slots it home with confidence.
And scores again. He's settling in so well. And then, a beautiful moment, as this is exactly why I pushed so hard to sign James. His trademark, a beauty of a free kick. We may have taken our foot off the gas at half-time.
Hang on, Derek, what a chance this is.
As we concede a rather beautiful goal in the second. But it's just a scare, and that's a statement win for us. Quarter-final draw time, and Nuno's reaction says it all. Seamus then announces to the public his decision to retire. However, it's not going to be a sad farewell party, as Nuno has asked him to be his assistant coach next season, and he gladly accepted. Back in Seamus's house later, and Jordan came over to congratulate him. As they're having tea, Seamus receives a text from Gus. It's congratulatory at first, and then reality as Gus is quick to make future plans, and he came right out and asked Seamus if he'd be willing to be number one, if Nuno were to be sacked. Feeling the pressure now, Seamus. While still playing under Nuno, the boys' unity is growing. Mourinho pops up with a massive header to give us victory in Coventry.
What a good player he is, and he's really showed it today.
Our recent good form sees us climb back into the playoff spots, and we've opened up a 4-point gap over Stoke, with 9 league games to go. As for our next FA Cup opponents, Liverpool, they are brushing aside Premier League teams for fun. We'll just focus on us for now. And once again, it's the Hollerbuck Show.
Could be. And a goal! That will do it. They've been pushing for it, and now they've been rewarded. Oh, surely. It's gone in. Well, they're really in the mood here. Can they be stopped?
2 beautiful goals, and then a nice header on the end of James's cross for his hat-trick.
And he's waiting in the centre, unaccompanied.
But it's flagged for offside. We do grab a third, however, as we're awarded another pen. And Rio is, as always, cool as ice.
In it goes! A well-taken penalty.
3-0, and on we go.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll start questions now.
Nuno, with the gulf in resources and quality, do you think it's unfair for teams like Sunderland to even face clubs like Liverpool in this competition? Will it be more of a learning experience for your squad than a competitive fixture?
Listen, ask a proper question, not one that insults my players.
Hello and welcome to Liverpool. Good afternoon from a ferocious Merseyside. You can already feel the hostility. This is Anfield at its most intimidating. The noise, the history, the expectation.
Guys, listen up. Yet again, everyone thinks that we will fail. Good, we just remember, we are here because we deserve to be.
Well, Royston, are we as confident today?
Of course, it's clearly our time.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Well, with that confidence, we've got Gerard Stevens alongside us, Liverpool legend, England great, and according to his autobiography, part-time superhero in cup finals. He's won everything, tackled everyone, and frightened most of the cameramen since he joined us today. Royston Mead is here. He's still got that striker's instinct, only now it's used for interrupting Royston at the perfect moment. Welcome, Rungy. Well, this isn't just a match, it's a test of nerve, and Sunderland are walking straight into it.
Is there any temptation to just defend here for 90 minutes?
No.
Set Salah maybe for penalties?
Absolutely not.
Well, it might be time to pray Royston.
For Liverpool.
And I must say, this stadium falls in the must-visit category for any football fan should the chance come his or her way. Anfield is the venue. I'm Derek Ray, and my commentary partner, as always, is Stuart Robson. And we have action from the quarter-final stage of the FA Cup just moments away. It is Liverpool, and they face Sunderland.
Well, the hosts certainly go into this game as strong favourites. They have better technical players and can be brilliant when everything clicks. But their opponents are well organised, resilient, and pose a threat on the counter-attack. Therefore, an early goal will be the main priority for the home team.
Well, he always has to be regarded as a dangerous opponent, so what should we expect to see from him in this game, Stuart?
Well, Derek, he comes into this game full of confidence because in the last match he was outstanding. He got his 2 goals, but his general play made him the best player on the pitch by a long way.
And this is how Liverpool will line up. Alisson begins in goal. Joe Gomez plays alongside Virgil van Dijk in central defence. And leading the line today is Diogo Jota. Let's run the rule over the Sunderland starting lineup. James Ward-Prowse plays with Jordan Henderson in the centre of the pitch. And in this tactical setup, they have just the one player in attack.
It's cold in Liverpool today, but the atmosphere is burning. Anfield is bouncing. And Sunderland step into a theatre designed to rattle the bravest of visitors. You're watching BBD Sports live.
And the contest begins. Ward-Prowse, determined defending.
Listen, Nuno has been through it all before. Just keep calm, do the simple things right, and who knows?
Honestly, one proper tackle and the whole game changes. Just rattle someone early doors.
Well, it's a shame Royston isn't out there. Can Sunderland manage a miracle now?
We almost did. But for Alisson's heroics to deny Hollerbach. And that's all we had.
Well, that's it. And Sunderland are out of the hands of Liverpool.
Well, that was a tough game. They had to work really hard to edge it. Credit to them, though, they didn't have it all their own way, but they showed a lot of character and resilience, which will hold them in good stead going forward into the next round.
Our cameras lingering on Diogo Jota. He can be such a difficult opponent, and that was absolutely the case today, Stuart. Summarise for us what you enjoyed about his contribution.
Well, I enjoyed watching him today. His work rate, skill and movement were excellent, and he fully deserved to score that winning goal.
You gave everything, every single one of you. I will say this clearly, we deserved more tonight. That tackle on Hollerbach, that's a penalty anywhere else, but even with that, you went toe-to-toe with one of the best sides in Europe, in their home, and you earned their respect. I've been in football a long time, and I have never been more proud to call a group of players my team. You didn't lose with fear, you lost with honor, and believe me, we walk out of Anfield with our heads high.
Well, I don't think anyone expected it to be as tight, you know. Sunderland will be fantastic, and I'm sure if they get promoted, they'll be a real threat.
Let's take a look at the action then, shall we? We'll start with the goal, Liam, and a great finish from Jota.
Yeah, it's a great finish, man. It was a very tough game, and the two men beside me here really stressing, man. Fair play, though. He got one big chance and he put it away.
Well, Sunderland thought they might have a great chance to get back into this, and probably should have Royston.
Well, I'll get in trouble if I say what I'm thinking, but yeah, it's a bad call.
No, I've got to say, your team didn't deserve to lose there.
It's a tough one to take for sure.
Some bad calls from this ref.
Well, we went for it, but it wasn't meant to be.
Well, great effort.
We didn't expect it to be that tight.
Yeah, great effort, man.
Well, on to the next one. Goodbye.
And just like that, our FA Cup run is over. It's time to head home, rest, and then prepare for Millwall. They are quite a bit behind us on points now, but this one doesn't go our way, as Luke is deemed to have intentionally blocked this shot with his arm, and it's a pen. And Honeyman steps up.
And in it goes, as coolly as you like.
It was a poor result. It was a really tight contest. Both sides had their chances. Could have gone either way, but in they will be disappointed.
We're still 11 points ahead of Millwall, but Stoke are only 6 off now, and we're off to face West Brom next.
And we haven't had to wait long for the opening goal. It's 1-0. There were any nerves, they didn't show. A well-taken penalty to make it 3-0. And it's in. A show of composure from 12 yards out. Oh, big chance this. And they've scored again. It's become a question of just how many. Well, there are good games, and then there are games like that. He surely has been the player who's most caught the eye today.
He's simply too good. Just like these trout I'm about to catch. It's almost a 5-hour drive to Norwich, so I decide to accompany the lads on the bus. As they get prepared for the game, I sit down and have a few quick words with Shy Sports, before taking my seat upstairs alongside Gus. How nice are these swivel chairs?
A late goal, and more than likely a winning goal.
Well, here's the replay, and he does really well. He takes his man on with ease, and the movement is good to get on the end of it.
I have no more words for this man, but I love him almost as much as my wife at this stage. Gus and I might have enjoyed that moment a bit too much, but what the heck. Nuno is keeping it calm in the post-game interview, but on the bus ride home, I can see it. He's starting to get excited now about reaching these playoffs. Stoke have lost, and now we're 11 points ahead of 7th place Millwall, with just 5 games to go. I don't want to celebrate too early though. And speaking of celebrations, this game with Swansea marks Nuno's 50th game in charge of Sunderland. Here's to many more, I hope. The next day I take him out to celebrate his milestone, the only way I know how. That was nice and relaxing. But we are not travelling to Bristol to relax. we're here to secure our spot in this year's playoff with a win. It's all eyes on Hollebuck, 4 goals in his last 3 games, and he's making a late push for that golden boot. And then, come of the hour, the win under our belt, we concede a penalty? Yes, a handball from Mensah, and our celebrations put on hold.
An opportunity to level matters. And in it goes!
That's a cruel blow, and the boys are left feeling a bit numb. But then we find out that Millwall didn't win either, and so we are in the playoffs. That got the spirits back up.
Well, come what may, there's going to be an exciting end to the season for the fans. I say that because last time out, Stuart, the team clinched a place in the playoffs.
Yeah, now that they are in the playoffs, Derek, they have to make sure they come into this in good form, stay fully focused and be ready for the challenge. And that preparation has to start today.
And that it does. Roberts cuts in and drills home his first goal of the season. Before Isidore fires in the second. And now we're up into 5th spot. And our next opponents, Oxford, are in a very dangerous position, sitting just 1 point off the drop zone. Holleback punishes them early with a pen.
And in it goes, as coolly as you like, never in any doubt.
Then Mundle handles in the box, giving them a pen. But Mila gets a good reach and makes great save. And he's there again to deny him. What a signing, if I do say so myself. Then it's time for a Joe Classic.
Let's fly here!
What a goal that was. He goes off moments later to a standing ovation from the away fans. However, there's someone sitting in the home section, keeping quite the keen eye on him.
They just can't subdue him!
And there's Hollebuck again, 3-0. Rare then gets fouled in the box. And one more won't hurt.
Oh, and it goes! Now he has his hat-trick!
Another hat-trick for our boy, and that golden boot getting closer. He's nominated for the Player of the Month again, this time along with Mila. And they both make the Team of the Week, as does Saldivia. And then comes this guy, here to steal our joy. He just came straight out and told me, they, Dortmund, want Job, and he's just offered me £31 million. Now how do I tell Nuno? I decided to call him the next day and inform him. He needs to know it's under consideration. Well, he took it like I thought he would, in fairness, and I got a 10-minute lecture about how he is the future of this football club and how Nuno is planning to build this squad around him. I love the passion from Nuno, and honestly, I agree. We shouldn't sell. But ultimately, it's up to these owners, not us. Well, in much brighter news, our skipper, Dan, just posted a very exciting video on his socials.
promise you can never Sunday. I pray for it, get ready for the comeback. Yeah, yeah. I think it's time for the comeback. I hope you're ready for the, yeah. I see it's time. Press play on the tape, no rewind. No delay, put it all on the line. Only going up, ain't no room for the climb. Meet me at the top, or you won't ever see me.
Inspirational work from Dan, and he will be on the bench for the upcoming final league game against QPR.
Checkmate, crown, you gon' have to bring me. Ain't no other way.
And it's all eyes on the Stadium of Light as we look to finish strong now before heading into the playoffs.
I'm about to bring the sun back. Forecast looking bright for the comeback.
Our cameras on one man, following a hat-trick. Does he have another big performance in him this time? Stay with us on EA TV.
Last game of the league season, and he's just one goal off the golden boot. But early on, disaster strikes. The crowd is showing their frustration. Nuno looks on, very worried. It's not good, and Hollebuck knows it. It's later confirmed as a broken toe. His season's over, and right before we go into the playoffs, devastating. QPR scored moments after that. Then later on, Jordan takes a bad landing and goes down too. This game is very quickly turning into a nightmare. But suddenly, the mood changes as the fans see who is coming on. It's Dan. Back before the season ends, and he's straight into the thick of it with a great effort that came very close. Moments later, he was involved in the build-up for this chance for Judge. Great strike from him once again, and of course this guy looks pleased. (1-1), and that's a wrap on this league season. Having come off the bench in the second half, after months out with a serious injury, Dan picks up the Man of the Match award. Incredible. The final league standings show that Oxford, Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday have all been relegated to League One. While in the top half, Leeds United were crowned champions, with Burnley finishing second. They will both be playing Premier League football next season. As for us four, we will battle it out in the playoffs for that final promotion spot. As we finished in 5th, we'll face Luton, who came in 4th, and Middlesbrough will take on Sheffield United in the other tie. We'll play home and away, with both winners facing each other in a one-off final at Wembley. We received a nice sum of €8.4 million for our performance in the league. But Hollebuck just missed out on that golden boot, perhaps because of that injury. Fleming, who won it, was then announced the league's player of the season. Fair enough. But this one really annoyed us. Not one of our players making the team of the season. Mila had the most clean sheets of any keeper, yet it's Trafford who is selected. And no sign of Hollebuck. What a joke. Thankfully, Jordan only has a bruised shoulder, and will be okay for the first leg of the playoff semis. But as I previously mentioned, it wasn't such good news for Hollebuck, our main striker, out, just as we prepare to start the playoffs. The boys' reaction to the news says it all. Playoff time. Just 16 minutes in, and Luton's Isaiah Jones receives a second yellow and is sent off. And minutes later, Isidore punishes them. Dan gets on again in the second half. And if we thought his first game back was good, well,
wasn't it? You can see the game plan from the first minute. I tell you what, if they can execute half as well in the second leg, surely they can move it on to the final.
Well, he performed admirably, a really good performance, and this put his stamp on the game.
Yeah, it was a good performance from him, wasn't it? On and off the ball, always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. He definitely played his part in the result.
home leg complete and a 2-goal advantage. Nuno remains calm. Middlesbrough won their first leg, and we could be heading for a Teeswear derby in the final. We're on the cusp of greatness, and this is truly a dream job for me. But I can't help feeling down. I'm missing them, and I think I'll have to reconsider my priorities. Come the end of the season, the job and the money are great, but my family will always come first. A quick check on the socials, and this guy doesn't miss a trick, hey? Myself and Nuno are strongly advising that we reject this offer, show that we are serious and are not just a selling club. But Gus is thinking of the money. We came to the conclusion it's on the player himself to decide. Let's focus now on finishing the job and securing our place in Wembley. We have a good lead going into leg 2, but this home crowd will be right behind their team, and a 2-goal lead can be overturned easily. And sure enough, they score early, and this place is jumping. Nuno cuts a frustrated figure, and we make it to half-time. Losing 1-0 on the night, but still going through with a 2-1 aggregate score. The second half is tense, you can really feel it. But then, the man that stepped in when Hollebach got injured now truly stepped up.
Can they convert?
Isidore scoring in both legs of this semi, not a bad replacement. And we've done it. 3-1 win overall, and we are going to Wembley. Luton, on the other hand, are condemned to another season in the Championship, and it's all too much for them, as Shannon Baptiste does not accept Mensah's handshake in the tunnel, and the two of them get into it, having to be separated by their teammates. Gracious losers, huh, Luton? Nuno can't hide his excitement after the game. Then we find out that Sheffield United have turned it around in the other tie. Middlesbrough knocked out. Elsewhere, Madrid sealed another Champions League win, beating Man City 2-1 in Munich. Hope Jude isn't the only Bellingham celebrating after this week. While being interviewed after the game, however, he threw more gas on the Job Dortmund fire by insisting his brother needs to move abroad to find his full potential. That will go down well with our fans. But there's no time to dwell on that. We've got a final to focus on. Nuno completes his media duties before taking the team for one last session. And then we're off to Wembley.
Hi everyone, and welcome to London. It's the Championship final today, live from Wembley, right here on Shy Sports. It's an amazing atmosphere. I'm sure both teams will be feeling the nerves now. Someone right here is too. I'm delighted to be joined by Royston Mean, Jakey Gallagher, and Larry Rebel, all here to give their expert opinions on such a big day for Sunderland and Sheffield United. Well, it's a massive day for this man, Isidore, who has really stepped up in Hollebach's absence.
Yeah, he's been a massive boost for them, to be fair.
Even without him, they're doing well.
You think they still win?
Yeah.
I do.
It's who can hold their nerves now.
Look, I've said this all season. I do believe that each of you are winners and deserve to be in the Premier League.
Hello and a warm welcome to Wembley Stadium here in London.
We have faced too much adversity this season. We have come through too much together. As a team, we will fight together and we will win together. Come on.
Well, here we are. The entire season comes down to what we're about to witness. Just 90 minutes away from finding out who will be going up. The atmosphere has been building all around the stadium. What a game this should be. It is Sunderland, and they take on Sheffield United.
Well, Derek, the aim at the start of the season was promotion, and they're only 90 minutes away from achieving that. Who will be a hero? Who will be the villain? Which team will be celebrating at the end? I'm genuinely excited for this one. Good to see the Bellingham family here to support Joe today. Fresh off a Champions League victory, mind you.
I don't think the Sunderland fans were too happy there.
And the starting 11 for Sunderland. James Ward-Prowse plays with Jordan Henderson in the centre of the pitch. And rather than use a strike partnership, they've gone with just the one player in attack.
Listen, we all know the pressure that's on Nuno. It's well documented. So he needs his players to step up today on the big stage.
Yeah, look, it's a decent Sheffield United team they're facing, but El Sur have come in from Uruguay and invested heavily in Sunderland. This is a club and a fan base that has waited long enough. It really is do or die now for Nuno. I just hope they don't fold under this pressure. Why Sunderland bought Ward-Prowse for a moment like this. He's one of the best free kick takers in world football, and it all comes down to this moment. Wow. Well, come of the hour, come of the man. What a massive moment for Ward-Prowse and for Sunderland. One step closer to the Premier League.
What a moment, and a perfect start for us here. The boys are up for this, but we must keep our focus.
Way back into this game, it's a good chance here. What a tackle that is from Mourinho.
Sunderland are playing some lovely stuff here.
It's an off the free kick, and off the Ward-Prowse specialty, maybe.
That would just be the icing on the cake in this first half for Santo.
Unbelievable. This is Ward-Prowse's day. This is Sunderland's day.
Well, we couldn't have written a better script for that first half. James was sensational, the whole team were fantastic, and we completely played Sheffield out of the park.
Yeah, that's the first half of a team that is ready for the Premier League. midfield have been blown out of the water just there.
We're in touching distance now. The pundits are singing our praises, but Nuno tries to keep everyone's feet on the ground.
Boys, what I've just seen, that's football every coach wants to see. But you're doing it here, in this moment, when it matters most. I couldn't be prouder. Now, let's go out there and finish this job and take Sunderland back to the Premier League.
Well, underway once more, and it's going to be fascinating to see what developments occur in this second half.
And things only got better in the second half.
And there it is!
A wonderful strike from Mundell, and these fans are in ecstasy.
Well, here we can see it again. He's shown outstanding vision to find the perfect cutback, but there's still plenty to do from here. He hits it so well, though. Lots of pace, lots of power, and the keeper just can't react in time. It's a great strike.
Stop, they will make the change now.
Seamus Coleman will be coaching next year alongside Nuno in the Premier League. Not a bad way to go out for his playing career now, is it?
Daniel coming on for Jordan to lift the trophy.
And fully deserved, I may add.
Yes, he will most certainly be doing the honours. What a remarkable comeback he has made. And he's straight into this with a lovely flick to Bellingham, who goes for an ambitious one, to say the least.
Well, we're going to be doing a lot more commentary on Sunderland games next season. We're just waiting for the final whistle now. Sunderland are heading back to the Premier League. What a performance today. They've been unplayable, and Nuno will be one proud man. It's time for them to celebrate, and rightly so.
What an amazing feeling. But I can't help but wish my family were here to share this with me. And then, the greatest surprise of all. I can't believe they came. As for Joe, on his decision to stay or go, well,